We've got new 411 about some free and not so free DLC items coming to Titanfall 2 through the June timeframe with this roadmap. Firstly, the items that are coming in April is a DLC drop called A Glitch in the Frontier, which is many people speculating that this means the return of the map War Games from the first Titanfall, since it was based on the premise of a battle simulator with glitches. But given the fact that the grayed out map that is in the more free content to come looks like War Games, this could refer to a cut map found in the game files which looks nothing like the War Games map from the original Titanfall game, so we might actually finally be getting a new map and not one from the original game. And because, of course, since that's probably a pie-in-the-sky idea, we also see on the roadmap that an original Titanfall map, Relic, will be a map that is also coming back to Titanfall 2, probably in May or June, which makes sense because you can see the map Colony from Relic, just like Palin can see Russia from her house. These will be the new general-purpose multiplayer maps, and since live fire is here to stay, apparently, there will be two new live fire-only maps, Traffic and Deck, since they're smaller and thus easier to make from scratch. Lastly, in DLC updates, there will be two new Prime Titans which aren't free, the Ronin for those that like swords in a shooter game, and Tone for those that like cheese in a shooter game. However, there is a new Classified Titan which will be free to all, which has the silhouette that looks like the Monarch Titan, which has been found in various game files by data miners. There is footage of the new Titan with some text description from Shampoo, link in the description, who, by the way, has been featured in my top 5 plays for Titanfall 2. Shameless plug. This Titan has the XO-16 chain gun, which has been in the campaign and the first Titanfall multiplayer game, but was missing from multiplayer in this game, and has the defensive ability of an energy siphon, which is basically the laser shot from Ion, but instead of damaging an enemy, it will slow them and give Monarch some shield in return. The other abilities are as follows. The Ordnance is a rocket salvo, similar to the first Titanfall game. Notice a trend here with the DLC items. The utility is Rearm, which will refresh the cooldown rates for dash, offensive, and defensive abilities, and the core ability is an upgrade to your other passive abilities, which go through 8 different managers, Bob. I mean, 3 different levels, depending upon how long you could stay alive, like the BGs, even though Titans in this game are probably made out of Chinese steel and are usually long dead before you even get your first core. The first level gives increased ammo to the chain gun and salvo rockets, along with increasing the radius of the energy siphon. The second level gives faster rearm, increased damage of the electric smoke, and having the energy siphon give shields to friendly Titans. And finally, the third level changes the Ordnance to the multi-target missile system from the original Titanfall game, increases the chassis to buff health, dash, and melee abilities, and buffs to the chain gun to increase damage. I think that this is actually a great idea to have the Titans get better as you're rewarded for not Leroy Jenkinsing them with your stupid-ass nuclear ejection. The kits for this Titan are as follows. Data siphon to have your core meter earn 25% faster, shield amplifier, which increases Titan shield by 50%, rapid rearm to reduce the cooldown of the rearm ability, survival of the fittest to have batteries repair the Titan out of the doom state, and Apex Titan, which enables a yet-to-be-revealed 4th level core upgrade. Again, none of this is confirmed, but instead gathered from info stored in the files of the game, nor do we know when this shit will drop, but there are already tons of nose arts and even Prime models, along with a BT Prime voice, so this seems to be pretty close to finish. And just like a Billy Mays commercial, but wait, there's more, as the generation cap will be increased from 10 to 100 for no fucking reason other than getting some extra colors to play dress up with. Private match settings will include live fire and Coliseum to the selectable modes because they aren't played on most platforms and pubs. Might as well try them with your 0 friends. A new faction, more pilot executions, and purchasable beepity bops to give Respawn some extra funding in order to keep on updating the game. And lastly, a communication system similar to Battlefield or Overwatch, where certain stock responses are displayed on screen, like need battery, defend B, and even emojis like kiss, heart clapping, and peace, as if this game is meant for tweens. Also, they mentioned the return of my favorite game mode from the original game, Marked for Death, which will inevitably be empty on most platforms anyways, but hopefully that mixtape feature will come in handier than the mixtape I gave that girl that I had a crush on in the 6th grade. Lastly, on game modes, although it doesn't specifically mention it, if you look at the rightmost grayed out picture, it looks like a harvester from the game mode Frontier Defense, which also has references in the game files. From what can be gathered, the version in the new game will behave similarly to the PvE from the old game, with different types of Titans attacking the harvester, but there is one pretty big difference from the original: a MOBA-esque leveling system for upgrading your pilot. Currently found are paths to upgrade your tactical, like grappling hook, phase shift, and introducing a brand new pilot sword for those that like to melee in a shooter game. The different upgrades can be seen in an additional video also on Shampoo's channel, again linked in the description if you want to see them. The hooks upgrades are unlimited no cooldown grapple, a long distance grapple, and an explosive grapple that will have an explosion when it makes contact with the surface or an enemy. For phase shift, there's a no cooldown version to enter and exit at will, fast travel once you're in phase shift, and lastly the explosive exit from phase shift. Then for the new pilot sword, level 1 is a sword block for all you Genji mains or those that throw the game when they actually pick them, a Commando Pro-esque lunge from 48 feet away, which makes even Modern Warfare 2 players cry, and the last level to have the sword actually damage titans and bigger robots. There's other paths to find for the other tactical abilities, but no details are in them as of yet, and it's unknown if the Monarch Titan that I spoke of earlier, if that leveling is for just the Frontier Defense game mode, or if it'll actually be part of the car multiplayer, but maybe you can level your Titans up in Frontier Defense as well as your pilots. This is an interesting twist on an already popular PvE game mode from the first game, which should have been included in the base game to lure away those zombie players, but alas, we'll eventually get the goods, and I'm curious to see if the pilot sword will eventually make its way into multiplayer, where I won't be as salty if I get meleeed from someone actually running around with a melee weapon instead of a panic punch. Anyways, what do you guys think about the dev revealed and datamine leaked items? I've been the Schwantz27, out like Zeke Smith on Survivor. Until next time.